Coming to you live on YouTube. Yes, I'm live on YouTube right now, folks. So let's come on and do a little live for a minute. Hadn't done one in a long time, I just wanted to update y'all. I got some things coming up. Tonight I'm going to do a little movie review, a movie I just watched, Queen of the Ring. I mean, I'm a big fan of wrestling. I mean, I used to watch growing up ever since I was a kid, and even women's wrestling because it was something different. Especially there was a show you should watch called Glow, and the show I watch now called Wow. I watch it every Sunday because Sunday 6 o'clock is not much on, news and some other shit. But anyway, folks, I just want to come on and say I'd like to thank y'all again for your support for me reaching, 3,000 subs. It took me a long time. I'm not monetized. I know people say, why are you monetized? Because think about monetization. It's about the product. And my product is something not very popular, and I can't afford to put in the money to be monetized. It costs so much money, and I don't get, I get a little check. I just got my check, my first month check. And between this bill, that bill, light bill, rent, uh, it doesn't last long, But if you do follow my channel and you do see my live streams, I do have a GoFundMe, which I want to do for trips. You can check it out. It's in the lives. And also I have a Venmo, and a Cash App. So Cash App and Venmo are better because you get that money directly. With GoFundMe, they take a cut. And that's the thing. It's like anything they tax. Even they tax you when you give somebody money in GoFundMe. I just recently give a few bucks a lady who just interviewed yesterday, the lovely Mrs. Randy Dean. So check out Randy. Amazing lady. Her story is just very what she's been through, being like sharing. We have in common being both victims of a heart attack. She's been a victim dealing with cancer, and still she loves bodybuilding. And she's hoping to maybe do a show maybe this year. There's a show she's looking at shooting for. I think she says she want to do Masters USA. Hey, do Nationals. Nationals just as good too. Now, this is my new phone. I got a new phone because I know I needed one. The one I got has been pretty good for me, but I really need something with more storage, technology. The other phone, sometimes I have to delete pictures and clean out everything. So once in a while, so I can have some room. And with this phone, it has a lot more room and a lot more RAM. Also, if you look right now, the picture quality is a little better compared to my old phone because I keep my own phone because I had it for such a long time. And, plus one problem was my IG, my Always George page IG, it couldn't switch over. I don't know why, because I think I used another thing for that IG. I have my tablet has a phone. You can use it for phone, but because I don't use it enough for calls, I think I lost my right to it. It's supposed to give you automatically. I don't know why I do that. Well, hair my tongue. And also, I got some things coming to hope. I mean, I got some plans coming up, and I'm keeping close to my vest right now. A couple people know about what I'm going to do because these are people I trust. I need, and they keep my confidence. But I got something I'm doing at the end of this month, and you'll find out because I want you to be surprised because it's something I feel like I want to do that I don't get a chance to do it. Also, we'll try to do some more stuff for my channel. But again, I'd like to thank y'all. Shout out to everybody out there. As you know, tomorrow is the Portugal Pro. Today they're having the I think they're doing the prejudging. They did the prejudging this morning because as you know, Portugal, I think it's like 5-6 hours ahead of the United States in time. So they already did the prelims or prejudging for the amateurs to get their pro cards. And then I think today they're already working on the finals. Because I think finals usually start about 4 or 5 o'clock. I think it's 10 now here, and I think it's got to be about 5 or 6 in Portugal. So I check out the Female Body channel, and also my man Claudio. They are over there in Europe, and they're posting. Because I know AJ's over there. He's doing some interviews, talking to some ladies. I know some of y'all guys disappointed with you. You'll have more numbers what came to for that show, but we all know the cost of traveling. Most American competitors don't want to go out of the country to do it. I know Sherry Palmer did last year, and she took second. And it's tough. I mean, Sherry, I just recently saw a picture of her. She's spending some time with her family. Her daughter just started her career as a nun a while back. She's been how to say, she's officially a nun. So that's amazing. Someone her age wanted to get something like that. I mean, I don't know if I was her. If she was like 18, 19 when she started to make the decision to become a nun, and that's her choice, and my mother's proud of it. I know there's back of his says she wished her daughter could enjoy life, maybe go off, maybe have children, and be like a mother like herself. But you want your children to be happy. What somebody told me, you want your children to be happy. So anyway, folks, I just came on. Um, just talk about just shoot some shit a little bit. I saw the other day, as you know, I try not to get to politics too much, but this stuff that affects me in the long run. The stupid big bill, which is going to pretty much fuck up a lot of people's lives, has been signed by a dumbass piece of shit called Donald Trump. I don't call him. I respectfully call him Mr. Trump. I would not call him President Trump. He's not presidential. He is a con man, a liar, a convicted felon. And what they did was they are now going to try to kill our people, including myself. See, because this affects me because I live on Medicaid and Medicare. I live on a welfare system because a lot of us people, and I work most of my life, a lot of people who do work, that's the thing. We put that money in. It's not nothing from the government. It's mostly us putting in. And then it's also what the government gives us for, the taxes we put in. We need that stuff because a lot of us, it's harder. If I could go back to work, I'd love to, but I have issues with my knees. I have sleep apnea, which means that sometimes I will fall asleep, and also other things. And it's been so long, it's hard to find. And plus, I have a pacemaker. Most employers are kind of worried about anybody who has any kind of issue with their heart. And and the stuff that I get just keep me going. So I'm hoping there's a people who will fight for us, who would want us people who are surviving. Like this will affect, especially I live in a rural area, and rural people live in a rural area. It's hard to get to some places and get the things you need. It's easier for people in the big cities because it's so close together. Even though some places might be a good 10 miles, 5 miles for some people, but for others it might be 20 or 30. And sometimes some of us don't have cars. I it's my sister's car she gave me, but it's been sitting in almost 2 years in a garage. And the guy I talked to, I mean, I'm not wasting my time anymore about, I'm going to try to save some money and get myself a car. Because if I keep talking to you, telling you, calling you, and seeing what's up, and you're not doing anything, so I'm wasting my time, so I'm wasting yours. So I'm just going to move on. If she wants, it's still in her name, she can junk it. It was good for her for a good long time. It ran me pretty good, but now I think it was pretty much saw its twilight years. It's a '97 Camry, Corolla, no Camry. So '97, that means that car was built in '96, so it's practically 30 years old. And whoever had it before her, and she drove it here and there, and I drove here and there, and and my fault was I took it to a shade tree mechanic, and don't ever do. Sometimes hit or miss. They're good at changing oil. Anything else serious, don't. You go to So I'm just like I say, what, I'm going to roll on from that. I have family friends that are happy to help me out if I need to go somewhere, and also I have a thing where if I need to see a doctor here in North Carolina, there's a program called Seats. If I got it's mostly exclusively for if I got to see specialists like within the North Carolina area. So I have orthopedics over the next town over, which is Wilmington, and I have my cardiac is there too. Also, I'm part of a program with United Healthcare where I get rides. So if I've got to go out of North Carolina, I can call and set up rides. And sometimes my my niece and nephews might let me borrow their cars, or let them ride with them. Every now and then. But other than that, I don't go a lot of places. There's not a lot of places to go. I don't go up down the road. I'm most time home, working on stuff, doing interviews, and trying to find things to keep me busy because it is boring. You see a shirt, I got a shirt. It's a nice deal. It's supposed to be a 5, but it fits like a 4. It's like breaking news. I don't care. But I'm really trying to do more on my channel. Reaching out for some interviews. I got some ladies that hoping I'm about to get some interviews next week. I appreciate last week was busy for me. I mean, Sunday, Monday, then Thursday and Friday. you know, for interviews. Where last month was kind of really slow for me. You know, had some interviews and then some ladies dropped out or whatever else. But you know what? I'm not gonna chase after you. You know, if I say, hey, you want to do an interview, you know, let's set it up. Don't respond to me. I'm moving on. You know, that's the best thing to do. I mean, that's I understand you got a lot of your busy hectic, but understand that I got the time. I got nothing to do. What it is just a barely hour or two to sit and talk with me. But who cares? I kind of hear me, but you know what? That thing don't let it get too much. So, shout out to my KL. As you know, he's going to sit on with me in this top of the movie, The Queen of the Wing, because he's seen it before, you know, and he suggested it. He was talking about the magazine Dream. Said, I don't care too much about that. But the Queen of the Wing movie, which I watched, is a pretty good movie. The story of Mildred Burke, one of the most successful female wrestlers in history. And before, she was before Fabulous Moolah, before Wendy Richter, Sherry Martel, Jade Cargill, Jordan Grace, all these modern day female wrestlers that you see now. She was before them, and she started out. We also Mae Young started out with her. A lot of female wrestlers started out with her, and she broke both boundaries for women and women of other ethnicities. It was like even black wrestlers. Her husband slash ex-husband slash partner. He did some shit. I don't know, maybe just some details of the movie they made exaggerated a little bit, but still felt like it did happen. There was a lot of abuse, a lot of stuff happening going around behind the ring and and behind closed doors. But it's an interesting movie. I enjoyed it. A lot of ladies were very, very, very well developed. The actress of it, Emily Ricks. Remember her? She used to be on the series Arrow. She was what was the character name? I never watched that show that much. She was a blonde girl with the glasses, and she was great. She got in shape for that role. There was some female wrestlers out there that were recognizable. Camille, Camille wrestles now at AEW. She used to be NWA Women's Champion. Now she's also currently going to be the next new American Gladiator for the coming series. That's also a couple of ladies had done an interview. One lady who had done an interview with is going to be a part of that series. Danny Means, and also Lou Fistu, who is both our figure competitors. They're making their become American Gladiators. I want to see that show do. I hope it does well. It's going to be on Netflix. So no, not Netflix. It's going to be on Amazon. So I don't do streaming, so I would be able to watch it. Maybe somebody posting clips on YouTube and check it out. But congratulations to Danny. I mean, you're a impressive young lady, athletic. She's been through a lot. And, it's a great opportunity for her to share her story with me. But yeah, also there was a Toni Storm was in it, and Toni Storm, she was the AEW Women's Champion, multiple times, I think. Blonde chick, British, not like a level of a sister, but still. Give me a second, folks. I think I got to do something real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry, folks. Just realized something. Yesterday, the trash man was off because it's a holiday, and they run today, so I have to go and put the trash out. I should remember that. So hey, not everybody's gonna have a long weekend, but that's how it is. But anyway, I enjoyed the movie. It was pretty good. I don't watch a lot of movies like I used to. I just don't know, maybe not many good ones out there. I know next Saturday or next week is going to be the premiere of the new Superman movie. A lot of people, kind of like on the fence about it. Like I like Cavill. I grew up with Christopher Reeves. He was my Superman, my generation. There was Dean Cain. Not a big fan of his. Brandon Routh was short-lived, and there was that last guy who played the Superman series. He didn't look like Superman. He should have been Batman, or maybe Hal Jordan. He just didn't look like Superman. He just, I don't know, his look to him looked, kind of like, nah, he just didn't look like Superman, in my opinion. He was a little too scrawny looking, a little short. Then he had always that kind of like, kind of Don Johnson 5 o'clock shower look to him. That's never been, nah, that's not Superman. Superman had to be like nice, clean cut. You had kids, you married Dolores, you still look clean cut as Clark Kent. Hey Lar, how you doing? How you doing, brother? That's my man Lar there. Lar, he's from Canada. He says, big fan of Christopher Reeves here. Yes, Christopher Reeves. His son Will looks like his dad. You ever see his son? If his son ever became an actor, he would have been a great Superman. He's just as tall as his father. He has his father's looks, and he could have been. I mean, if he was an actor instead of a reporter, he would have been a great Superman. If Chris Reeves didn't, happen what happened to him, I think his son Will would have been a great Superman. Oh, says, hope you're well. Yeah, fine, cool. I didn't know. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you know now. Look up. All you gotta do, Laura, is just put in Will Reeves. You'll see him, and you will say, "Oh my God, that boy looks like his daddy." Now, Chris has 2 other kids. He has a son from his first marriage. The boy, he's a man now. He don't look as much like his father compared to his brother. That was Will was with his last wife, the one that died right after he died because she got sick. She had lung cancers. Some say it was probably from him being him decaying, him dying. She probably got that. I think she used to smoke or never smoked. I think, or she started smoking because of dealing with him. I don't know. But check him out, Will Reeves, and you will see. You thinking, wow, if he could act, he was an actor, I would cast him as Superman. If he was a good actor, he will, just put him in the right suit, and boom, he would be Superman. But anyway, right now, like I said, I'm hoping to get some interviews next week, and then get on Muscle Talk. Next week after next is going to be Chicago Pro. I might watch a live stream, I might not. I got some things I'm working on now, and I need to conserve some money. But if it's within the reason of my budget, I think I might watch it. And I think I'm talking to a lady who I know. She says she wants to do like a live stream, critique of the show. And with this new phone, I think I can do it because I can watch it. I can watch it on my computer, and I can do we can do critique live on YouTube or IG. Debating, I think probably either one of them will work. But Chicago Pro coming up, and then after that we have Tampa. Shout out to my dear friend, the lovely Miss Eunice Martinez Kitchen. She's going to compete in that show. She'll be doing Masters. I wouldn't mind. I would love to go to Tampa if I could afford it. I would love to go to some of these shows. I know Keith said he wanted to fly me out to check him out in Chicago, where he's going to compete in Chicago, him and Tina. But I can't afford it. I don't want to be somebody's burden. And plus, I don't have one of those we call the real licenses. You have to have the real ID, would have the little thing on it so we can go on planes. I don't have that. And if I do something like that, I might have to get myself a passport. See, passports work, so I never had a passport. and I got to learn what to do to get it. I think I got to get my ID, my original ID. I don't have the original on the end. Like I get a copy. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I never get on a plane. Just look at real and says and yes, you are right. Yep, yep. That boy looked like his daddy. Just a little bit some differences. Especially I mean he might have took a little stuff from his mother, but that boy is a spitting image of his father. I think about the same height too. Might be just, if not as tall as his father, maybe an inch or two shorter. I think Chris was like 6'4". I think Will might be 6'3". That fits the criteria of Superman. Superman always been to me 6'3" to 6'4". Henry was a little short. He was 6 feet tall because if you think about it, when they did the Batman versus Superman movie, Batman should be never taller than Superman. That's just me. Batman should be at least 6 feet to 6'1". Superman is usually sometimes should be 6'3" to 6'4". He should be like at least maybe as tall. The shortest Superman actor on record was the guy who played the Superman in the Lois series. That was on CW. I think he was like 5'11", 5'10". That's too short for. That's more like he would probably made a better Dick Grayson. He wasn't tall enough for Batman, not tall enough to be Superman. He'd be a better Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson was sometimes 5'10", 5'11". He was just maybe an inch or two shorter than Batman. Robin, Nightwing. He'd be probably better Nightwing than a Batman. Here's the thing is, this is just me. It's a comic fan. The rules when it comes to height for certain characters. Superman, 6'3" to 6'4", maybe 6'5". Batman, 6 foot to 6'2", if 6'1". Wonder Woman, I think 5'10", not too tall, not too short. Aquaman, 6 foot, kind of like Batman, maybe a little shorter than Batman, but about the same height as Batman. Green Lantern, maybe 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'10", 5'11". Martian Manhunter, I think about the same range as Superman, at least 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4". And so maybe I'll go to the Olympia. We'll see. I wish I could. That means I have to fly, or I can get if I take a bus. Oh no, I couldn't. No, that'd be too much of a long trip taking a bus. No, I have to fly to Vegas. That's means I had to get myself one of those real IDs, or get a passport. I think I'm gonna ask which one's easier to get, a real ID or a passport. I need to ask somebody who travels. I need to check with one of the travel shows. It would be easy to get a real ID or a passport, because if I ever want to travel on plane and the cost of it, because I think, I know later this interview, Randy Dean says, and I heard it from other people that it's cheaper to get a motel in Vegas because the cost is so low, but, because they really make their money off of gambling. So if I, take a flight to Vegas, I think those flights usually cost about a good chunk of change. Even if I get coach, it's gonna be expensive. Maybe I get like economy class. You want more comfort and a little more stuff. First class is way too expensive. If I had the money to do it, I would. Maybe somebody sponsor me to go to but here's again, I need a real ID or passport to get on a plane. And I don't have either one of those. That's the problem. I have an ID, I have my license, but now because of what dumb shit did, yes, you have it's cheap more just to see the expo 5 minute walk convenient. Yeah. Well, I've been lucky. I just recently, a couple weeks ago, I went to see an orthopedic specialist. He gave me some shots for my knee because I have issues with arthritis. I'm walking a little better. Usually sometimes I have a time because I feel like the pain really cripples, but I'm going to have to set up an appointment with him by the end of the month to see something about my shoulder because, that's something I need to take care of too. But yeah, I mean, it's cheaper just to sit and pay the $80 and watch the live stream. If you really have the money. We got here. Well, folks, I'm going to do something, folks, that I want to show you something that age is happening to me. I'm getting older, and I have to do this sometimes. I don't do it on my regular live streams because I want to protect the image. But now I'm getting old. I got to say, like we got here, Black Daddy is. I show speed. What the heck was that? Say. He says hi. Yeah, hi. He says yeah. So guys, you see now, I am not just George MacArthur. I'm Joe McCarthy, West Readers. I gotta make an appointment to see eye doctor or ortho, not what's it called, orthodontist is for teeth, a optometrist, see one of those because I know I'm getting older, and and plus I'm on a phone screen almost every day on my computer watching TV. Sometimes I get up at night and I'll be on the phone and I forget to turn on the light. You gotta have a bottle of light, but sometimes that's just me because I'm stupid. But I was said what's good? Who said what's good? That's Josh Simpkins. I can recognize you, Josh. Yeah. Said what's good, Josh. We also have Chris here. There's hello, Chris. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for coming in and supporting me. But I just came out here just to talk a little shit, shoot the shit with y'all. I don't do often lives other than my usual scheduled lives where I just come on and just like I got you seen if you look into my live section, I have my tonight I'm gonna do a live about the upcoming we're talking about the Queen of the Ring. Also then Monday I'm gonna do a live, we're talking about retirement. As you know, quite a few bodybuilders retired. I saw this, I think I heard saw that I think Tessa Metz has retired. And I don't know. I was watching a video she posted. I follow her on social media, and she said, when she used to be a bodybuilder, I think she's now number one coach. Tessa, she's from South Carolina, which is in my area. I'm in North Carolina, South Carolina. She won the Charlotte Pro last year and got her Olympic qualification. And I think that was her first and only Olympian, and that's it. And I think now she's moving on. Present physique. I was off talking about how I think she could probably do good in women's physique and figure, but I guess she feel like she better just go ahead and get out while she's still young and probably want to get married and have kids. But you never know. So these ladies take a step back and say, you know what, I'm gonna not compete for a good while, and then it's that itch. Like you see like some of these ex-boxers or baseball players or any kind of athlete. Like remember Tom Brady when he said he retired, and then then he came back, and then some guy had to pay the $10,000 for a football that wasn't the last football anymore. It doesn't mean shit. He has a paperweight. He has a pretty much maybe $100 football they pay $10,000 for. It's not worth shit. But you never know. Like we heard Kayla Acock's not competing this year. She says she's retired. We know Sydney Gillen, she's retired. Chris Bump said he did retire, but he did a men's badminton show in Prague, and I don't know if he's just maybe kind of dipping his feet in something else, or he might flip for it. My man Big Keith, he said this is gonna be his last run this year. And like I said, I support my brother. He comes out and support my channel, and he also keep me updated on him and what him and team are doing. Love, respect both of them. I mean, I appreciate it. I sent him a little thank you thing a while back, just because I really appreciate their support. But I do appreciate all of y'all who's generally been following my channel and supporting my path. Maybe one day, Laura, if it's the right show, if ever, if I ever get things situated a little better, where we can meet a show. I doubt I ever get to Canada because, like I said, I get a passport. I don't have a passport. Maybe I would love to go to. I was hoping to go to Atlanta this year, but like I said, the situation, especially in my car, I said, I just say I was going to stay with my niece, so that saves me a cost of hotel. If I could have, afford that, I would love to come to Atlanta this year. Maybe I should go to Atlanta. But maybe next year. My great nephew be still living there because I know my niece came by the other day, and she was down here visiting. She said she's planning on moving to South Carolina, a little closer to the family. That's good. That's nice. She's my sister's oldest and only daughter, my mother's first granddaughter. Marlene, we call her Granny. She was the one that time when I missed my trains from Savannah that I had to, she came from Atlanta, that's a 3-hour drive. It took me another 4 or 5 hours back home to North Carolina, or back to my daughter Roland. And I thank her, I appreciate that. I should have got a little early. You got to remember when you're going to catch a plane or train, you have to leave at least an hour ahead of time, ahead of your schedule, because you don't want to miss it. If that happens next time or someplace else, I'm screwed. Unless I have enough money where I can, get another way back or stay someplace for a while, or hey, somebody who feel pity on me and let me stay with them till I get my shit together. But yeah, folks, this is something really want to do. I mean, just really wants the opportunity one of these days to go to a show again, and just to meet some of these ladies, the interviews with, talk to them, and maybe make some new connections. One thing I wish I had. I would like to have a card. If anybody can give me some advice, you can shoot either one of my IGs or send me a message here on the after the live about how I can get some cards made. Like I want to get one where kind of like remember that scene in Batman in a bit Batman Begins where when Jim Gordon shows the calling card left by the Joker to Batman. I like to get something like that. I like to get a card with Joker on one side, and on the other side put all my information, and another, and it says, "Here's my card." I would love to do something like that. I mean, I gotta find a card maker, something like that. How much it costs? Maybe get like maybe 100 cards. 100 be good. I think that'd be enough where I can, maybe 100 cards, and just whenever, if I ever go to a show and I meet some people, say, hey, here's my card. Call me if you're interested. Have my phone number on it, my email, my IG, and my other information. So if you ever want to come on and set up an interview, just let me know. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to have you as a guest. There's something that I need to research myself, but I can always, it never hurts to get a little help. So if anybody who knows, and also maybe do some more designing work on my channel. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's work. And, I enjoy this work. It gives me something to do. I got nothing else to do. I got a lot of free time. I'm home half the time. I might go out, do a little stuff here and there, like shop, do my laundry, Well, here's a good thing about this. I have the Walmart app. I know, and I order stuff if I need it for the first of the month, and every now and then, because I do go to work. I do go to Walmart because I do have a thing where I have to pay my light bill, and it's the way I got to go there to go pay my light bill, because, it's easy to go there and pay the light bill, I can do, it's a program, because I used to try to do it online, but then some issues I couldn't do it online, so I had to go to Walmart pay it. So, and it, it does cut into the extra stuff I get from my healthy choices. So, but it saves me on money. It does. It saves me on cash. Any little dollar it saves me, that's good. And I hope I can keep that. I need that because you can't survive in this country without some kind of support. If I could work again, but here's the thing is, if I do work, I live in public housing. I live on Section 8 miles per se. I have to let them know I'm working and how much I'm making, and then my rent would change. It would go up sky high. Anything that's really making a lot of money, how many hours, how much I'm making, it would go up. My rent's really reasonable right now, but still, it's just. That's why, hey, I say, hey, if you like to, anytime you see my lives, I don't usually ask you to like, there's my Venmo, there's my Cash App, there's my GoFundMe. If you want to donate to those, when you watch my lives, I do appreciate it. I know a cousin a while back, she sent me some money in a Venmo, and I appreciate that. One of my cousins, my aunt Orr's daughter, I miss my aunt Orr. It's going to be about a couple years since she passed. She was one of my brother's sisters, my father's sisters, and he only has 2 left now. My aunt Pat and my aunt Orr Jane. Love them both. But I always appreciate y'all who support my content and support me. And there's days where it gets to the point where it can get monotonous. And I always try to find something interesting to talk about. I want to be consistent. That's one thing that helps you. Just like the women in bodybuilding, the people in bodybuilding, men and women, they have to be consistent. That's why I want to be consistent. And I appreciate when people tell me, George, what you're doing it consistently, because we do need that. And I do appreciate the people who take time out. People like Mary Ann, people like Lori, can't forget Eunice and Bev and Nicole and Keith and Kale and David and Jeremy and so many others took time out to come on and give their thoughts and share their opinions and discussion and I appreciate those people. I do. I do. Yeah, because you don't have to do it, but I do appreciate that. But life is just about trying to do the best thing you can as a person, and making good decisions. You know, the Portugal Pro. I'm excited about this show. Kind of the sad thing about it, I hope they do like a memorial for Amy Muscles, Amy Mendez. I hope they do because you know what, I would love to see her compete. And I've been wanting to do a comparison video with her. Her body's just amazing, but now, yeah. But I hope we do see some more ladies who I follow on social media do some competitions. Sometime this year. There's a couple of shows that are coming up at the end of the year, and I will check them out. Some ladies I've been talking to, they are planning to make their pro debut, and who I've interviewed with, and I wish them best of luck. They'll once they make everything official, I'll let you know. Because like I said, when they tell me something, I'll keep their confidence. That's one thing. When you're doing stuff, you got to keep these ladies' confidence. You can say stuff on the side, but don't put the name in or something like that. They don't mind, but they don't want to be, hey, ladies keep everything close to the vest. And I respect that. And it's great for some ladies to reach out to me, and sometimes they send me their progress pictures. Say, "How dare you send me your progress pictures in your little posing suit and your okay?" But because generally I'm they appreciate my thoughts and my critiques, and that's good. Yeah, that tells you when you do good stuff for good people, it comes back to you. So, but anyway, folks, I'm well, not much else to talk about. Got some stuff got to work on today. Not much else to do. Well, trying to keep myself busy like a bee. Biz, buzz. Life is precious. It's fleeting. For us humans, we can live from anything from a year to 100. And if you're lucky, a little more than that, it's great. We're not meant to be immortal, but sometimes it's nice we can live just a little bit longer. You're not going to defeat death. You're not going to cheat death, but if you can kind of delay him a little bit, that'd be great. Yeah. But I'd like to thank everybody who's here. Black Daddies, man, Laura, my man Joshua. Everybody was here to listen to me just shoot shit. I really appreciate that because I just I just enjoy doing what I'm doing. Talking about these ladies, talking about this content. I'd like to maybe get some. One thing I would love to do more. Instead of talking about this thing about the upcoming Queen Wing movie, I'd like to do maybe some more. I would love to do some Professor Wrestlers. I would love to, but the problem is a lot of ladies are busy. They're on the road 24/7. It's hard to get it. I mean, one lady started following me on my IG. I said, reach out to you. Said she's really busy. Maybe when things settle down, we'll do something in the future. But yeah, and also maybe some MMA fighters. President. Shout out to Courtney Cameron. She's got a show a fight coming up next month. Bare knuckle. Also, I might do a video. Next week, Friday, is going to be one of the biggest women's boxing, shows coming up. And as we have here, the third fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. I hope Amanda beat her. She should have won those last two fights. I don't know. I'm not a judge. I know. And Katie's a dirty fighter. I think Amanda's got to work on the body shots and keep the distance. And don't get too much in the clinch with her. She takes a page out of Evander Holyfield. No matter what y'all say about Evander Holyfield, he's a dirty fighter. He is headbutts. He does it. He's a dirty fighter. Mike Tyson, he should have punched him below the belt. I think you've seen Mike below the belt too. Mike did what he had to do. He played dirty. And people were overlooking because they look at Mike because he's like this, he's that evil, criminal man. But it's the double standard when it comes to certain people. But I don't have Netflix, so I'm not gonna watch it, but I will do. I talk about it, do my critique of, not. I think about. I'm not sure all the finals. I might mention, but the ones I will mention most definitely is gonna be Chris, not Alicia Baumgartner. I'm a fan of hers. Beautiful physique, beautiful woman. Probably one of the sexiest female fighters. Out there right now, but she can fight. Alicia Baumgartner. I've talked about her before on my channel. I'm a fan of hers. Um, and give my critique of it. Put things together. But also, also, I might not watch the live stream for the because the first part, the finals, the prejudging is going to be early in the morning. So if you want to see if that's cool, I'm going to sleep. I might see. I'm not saying. I don't know. I think the thing with the pay-per-views is because of being overseas and sometimes exchange of money and like that. I don't think I'll be able to watch it. But as I say, I'm trying to take care of some stuff. This month, and I need to save every dollar like I can. But I will most definitely think about working Chicago. Just doing Masters and Open. I might just watch the Open part and not the Masters. And Sapporo may be a key because I think he's doing both both Masters and Open. And I want to post stuff about it. Would I love to go there? Yes, I most definitely do. But I don't think if I don't have the time to plan to afford it, I don't. But and again, I don't have the real ID or passport, so I can't get on a plane. I don't think there's trains to get Chicago. Could be, but you have to take maybe so many different, a lot of places get in. I'm not much for driving that long, and I don't know if I want to be on a bus that long. It's something to think about. So, thank y'all for coming through and listening to me shoot the shit with y'all. Catch me tonight. Me and my man KL. We do a little conversation on the movie Queen of the Ring. Also, catch me on Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for y'all folks. We're gonna do talk about when it's time for bodybuilders to say to call it quits. To ride off into the sunset with that friendly Western smile. Let's put a smile on your face. So, folks, thank you again for listening to me and shoot the shit. This is my always your page, aka the Emperor of Fear About Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I appreciate all you who follow me and my 3,000 subscribers.